This video is to demonstrate the functions of the buttons that are at the bottom of the map. And so down here on the bottom left hand corner we have the zoom in and the zoom out buttons. So basically every time you select in, it zooms you in closer to the map, and every time you select out, it zooms you out further. So you could zoom out far enough to where you could see the entire state if you wanted to. And so that's one way of maneuvering the map to where you can see more area. Another way of maneuvering the map is wherever you take the cursor on the map and click at that point becomes the center of the map. So you can move around the map that way. Okay, this aerial button. So the button itself goes back and forth between aerial and roads, and then on the map it'll take you back and forth between satellite imagery and the regular map. The Seg button will place a polygon around either a address range, a parcel, an address point, or an intersection that's found, which would be indicated by a red dot. So selecting Seg will place a polygon of whatever the buffer size is set at. So right now it's at 250 feet. So here we've got a 250 foot buffer of an address range, which is indicated by this red line. And now we're going to just jump over to the clear button. Selecting the clear button clears out any polygons that are on the map. And then going back to the block button, well, the block button actually coincides with the near button. So if we select the near button first and select a portion of the street, it'll identify the street for you, and it'll show you the address range of the area of the street that you clicked in. So this is the 100 through 199 address range of East Colfax Avenue. And then if the street has more than one name, it'll show that name also. So East Colfax Avenue is AKA, or also known as US Highway 40. And so then we would just select OK. And then on the map, the entire street that's in the map view will be highlighted. It'll be highlighted with highlighted purple. And then the area where we clicked is a lighter shade of purple. And so to remove functions from the map, such as the near button function, just click on the button again. And then to bring the other buttons back, just click again. So now going back to the block button, if we select block and click in that same portion of the street, so it places a 250 foot buffer, or whatever the buffer size is set at. Clicking there will place a polygon of whatever size it is around that address range of the area where you clicked. So you can fill in area using block. But the line button, so this is a button that you would use. This is a button that's used most of the time. Line and Seg are the two buttons that are mostly used. And so the line button is the button that you would use to place polygons or to draw out an area where you're going to place a polygon. So if we left click on line and take the cursor to a certain point, in this case it'll be the intersection here of East Colfax Avenue and Sherman Street, and we double left click. So basically that places a That's placing a 250-foot radius around that intersection because that's where we clicked at. So wherever you take the cursor and click, it'll place a radius around that intersection with a polygon buffer or whatever the buffer size is set at. And so line can also be used to draw out an area. So we can just left click at the start point and we'll just draw down the street. And then in the bottom left hand corner it shows how far we've gone. So right now it's showing last 725 feet and 0.14 miles. So that's the distance from the start point, which was Lincoln Street, and we're now on Grant Street. And then if you want to change directions, you just left click. And so now on the bottom left hand corner it shows, on the left side of the bottom left hand corner, it shows how far we've gone since the last click. So right now it says last 391 feet and 0.07 miles. And then on the right side it shows the total distance from the original start point, which is right now 1,116 feet and 0.21 miles. So if we wanted to go down here to East 14th Avenue and in there, we would just double left click. And so that places a polygon along these streets with a 250-foot buffer. And then as far as using the line button to draw out along a street that isn't straight, where you have to change directions to follow the street. So we'll just start here at this little circle here and left click at the start point. Then you follow the street and you just continue to click, and it'll leave a little yellow dot every time you click. And you can still get your total distance on the bottom, on the left side of the bottom left hand corner. So we'll just go ahead and trace around here. And so that's how you follow a street that isn't straight to get a full buffer of the street as you draw out the polygon. And then the distance button is a tool for measuring out an area without placing a polygon. So we just left click at the start point. And then to change directions, just left click, and just like the line button, shows how far you've gone since the last click on the left side and the total distance from the original start point on the right side. So that total distance of that square that we just drew out is approximately 2,610 feet. Then you double left click and then the distance button will leave a dark bluish purple line showing the path, and then it'll also show the distances of each leg that was drawn out. And then down below the buttons here we have this area, more map functions. So if we open that area up, to open it up, just left click on the little plus button. And down below we've got a highlight street button, cross one, addresses and parcels, and a clear button. And so to demonstrate the highlight street button, I'm just going to zoom out a few levels. And you select highlight street. And so it highlights the street that's entered in the street address field, which is East Colfax Avenue. So that entire street is highlighted with a red line for the entire county view. And then if we select the cross one button, it highlights the street entered in the cross street field with a green line for the entire county view. So that's North Grant Street there. And so you can see where those streets intersect even at this zoom level. And we can select clear to clear those out. And now we're just going to zoom back in a few levels. And so this addresses button will show all the address points that are in the map view, indicated by the circles. And if we select the Parcels button, it'll show all the parcels that are in the map view.